Hi, everyone. I'm Sunny.
I'm Rachel.
And I'm Rox. And this is
Literature on the Rocks.
Oh, I have a joke for you.
Okay, let's hear it.
Why did the chicken cross the road? Yeah.
That's so dumb.
Also, I heard this one recently, and I really loved it. I'd never bang an uncle, but I would tap a T.O. My new favorite thing to tell people.
So dumb. So dumb.
According to Rox,
T.O., actually.
incest.
Incest.
Ew.
It doesn't have to be your
I
T.O.
don't
though.
tap my T.O. It's just a T.O.
He is known as a T.O.
Yes, exactly.
Your tapatio, incest. Did you guys see the Instagram video where the guy calls it tapatio?
Yeah, have
that's where I
you
got it
seen
from.
the
Roy's
girl
sister
who's
Cherie?
talking about dulce de leche?
No.
Oh, douche deluge.
Douche
The
deluge.
easiest dulce de
I
leche
sent it to you.
You
I sent it
did?
to both of you, and I was like, I kind of want to make. She's talking about making caramel.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
And I
yeah.
was like, I kind of want to make it, but I
But it
can't
was
get
viral
past.
all
Oh,
over
yes.
TikTok.
I do remember now.
Douche
And the one where
deluge.
they call it Roy's sister Cherie for Worcestershire sauce.
There's so many wrong
They're
pronunciations.
like, you're gonna, I don't even know if I pronounce it right,
No.
but he's like,
Worcestershire.
Worcestershire sauce.
Worcestershire.
She's like, you're gonna need to put a little Roy's sister Cherie in here. Incest.
Roy's sister Cherie.
As long as Roy doesn't eat it, it's fine.
Oh. Disgusting. All right.
Oh, man.
Hit us with your topic for the day.
Yes. Do you DNF? And for those who don't know, it's did not finish. Book guilt free.
Do not fuck with. I'm
you-
gonna have a DNFW list. I don't fuck with that.
I like it. Do you DNF books guilt free or push through no matter what?
Yes.
I don't think I'm not guilt free. I still feel like maybe I'll get back
Oh,
to
no.
it like
Even
one day. I don't
not
like it.
Finishing a series.
Oh,
the
yeah.
books that we didn't love, and there's more to the series. I want to keep reading them, even if I didn't like them.
Oh, no, I don't want
Give it
that.
a chance. I'm not even in the middle of the story yet.
My conscience is clear.
I'm good. I'm good with series. I can kill a series.
I'll tell you what. I did DNF a book when I had just had my son. I was very emotional, right? Postpartum is real. But I was reading this book. It was gory. It was horrible. I couldn't keep myself. There was a lot of rape and gross. And I was like, I can't read this. And then later in life, someone was like on socials and they were recommending the book. So I decided to read it. And I realized, I think this is the same book I DNF'd last however
Was
many
it
months
Pretty
ago.
Girls?
And it was Pretty Girls. It was rough and it was hard, but it's now one of the books I absolutely love. But I DNF'd it as soon as I started reading it very quickly because
yeah.
of where I was in life, right? So I do think that that's part of the reason why I have a hard time DNFing is I have experienced being like, absolutely not. I DNFW'd with that one, right? And then I went back to it later and loved it and was like, I want this high from now on.
I don't know if I'll go back to this book. It's The Bewitching by Sylvia Moreno Garcia. It's the one I was telling you, like there was incest, like the uncle,
like, yeah.
Actual incest?
She's not
Actual.
yet, but she's like flirty and likes the uncle, and the uncle
So
gets
legit
like
still
starts
incest.
getting like jealous of the boy that's coming around for the girl,
Ew.
and I'm like, I don't know where this is going, but I don't want to entertain it. I stopped reading it because it was grossing me out. Sorry, Sylvia.
I can DNF a book and have no guilt about it.
I still feel guilty.
I now have a harder time DNFing a book because of the podcast. So I will fight my way
Get
through it.
But there's been 2 books you've been like, I'm struggling to get through. I might DNF. And then at the end, you're like, 3 stars.
I got to that last sentence and I thought, this is me.
And that is what I hate about those damn books. That it
Which is
takes
why
way
I
too
have-
freaking long.
One of them was The Mothers.
And that was my book.
Yeah,
I
and
was
you're
my
like, oh,
pick.
this is a horrible book. And
I
at the
was
end,
so
we were like,
mad at
3, 3,
myself.
3. And that's why I have a hard time DNFing is because it might be horrible. But by the end of it, I might be like, wow, I'm so glad I powered through. The ones I regret not DNFing are the ones where I get to the end and go, yeah, that still sucked.
Yeah, and I'm like, damn it, I should have just put that book down and started something else. I would have
Yes.
had a better time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So tell us, listener, do you DNF books guilt-free? Or are you a guilty DNFer or just not a DNFer at all? This is The Women by Kristin Hannah. Welcome.
Yes. So I did. It's something super quick and nothing crazy, but I thought we'd already done a Kristin Hannah book. I'll give you guys a little of did you know facts about her process with the making of The Women.
Okay.
The Women wasn't a quick spark for Kristin Hannah. It was an idea that she carried over 20 years, waiting for the right moment and the voice to tell the story, which I thought was pretty crazy.
I think she talks about that at the end of the audio book.
And to capture the emotional truth, she interviewed, and she did talk about this, but she interviewed Vietnam era veterans, including nurses, Red Cross workers, and even a decorated helicopter pilot, and weaving their experiences into her characters. She starts with the outline, like the beginning and the end, and then will write the middle, but she's not afraid to just throw away like big sections of the book as she starts evolving the story. She'll go back and go, no, we can take that part out, which I think is interesting because I don't know the process of writing a story, but I would imagine it's start to finish and then you kind of fix it as you go.
And cutting pieces out would like hurt your soul.
Yeah, or that and the whole story. Like you have to.
I think you could make like, okay, I know I want this big thing to happen, but it's got to be later on in the story. So having like milestones built in and then weaving the stories together is what I think about when writing the story.
Yeah. And then it makes me think just what a true art writing books is, because I don't know that I have that. She says that editing is her favorite part. The stage where she gets to reshape and polish the raw draft into its final form is her favorite part of the story. But true to her old school process, Hannah still writes her drafts in longhand on yellow legal pads. And the whole thing that's wild. Also, she's in company of Stephen King and J.K. Rowling who do that.
Oh.
She says that the writing process is a slower pace, so it helps her sink more deeply into her characters' lives and keep the storytelling intimate and immediate. She said, I was reading about other authors that do this, and the thought behind it is that there's no going back and deleting. You're just kind of writing. It would take more time to go back and delete than like erase or cross out. So they just kind of keep going. So it keeps them in the process and in the moment of the writing.
Cool. Okay.
And those were just a few little quick facts about The Women.
Good.
So the book summary, The Women follows Frankie McGrath, a young nursing student from a traditional California family who enlists in the army during the Vietnam War. Sent into a world of chaos and danger, she's thrust into the realities of combat medicine and the deep bonds formed between those who serve. When she returns home, Frankie faces a different kind of battle, one of recognition, belonging, and healing in a country divided by war. It's a powerful story of courage, friendship, and the resilience of women whose sacrifices were too often overlooked.
Amen.
Okay, so our cocktail for this week, inspired by The Women, we're calling it the Silent Cure. It is 2 ounces of gin, a half an ounce of lime juice, a half an ounce of honey, 2 dashes of Angostura bitters, and a splash of soda water. I think we tried to do like a little bit of a play on a classic because it's Vietnam. We did gin because it's the main character's alcohol of choice. Cheers, bitches.
Ooh,
Gin.
I like this one.
Wow.
I
This
really
one
like
is
this one.
alcohol forward.
But it's delicious. It actually reminds me of a gin and tonic.
I feel like that's what she was drinking was gin and tonics.
Yes.
In the book.
Yeah, when she wasn't just drinking it directly from the bottle.
Yeah, right.
It's not my favorite.
I like this one.
All right.
Wild. That was a lot.
It's Wild Wild West.
Going straight to the Wild Wild West. All right, let's get into these jumpity chumps. We start off with Frankie McGrath. She's our main character. She's 20, and she's celebrating her brother Finley's Naval Academy graduation at their California home. She talks a little bit about her life in California. She's clearly coming from kind of a wealthier family, and they're celebrating because everyone in this long line of McGraths, all the men go to the Navy. And so they're celebrating him being sent off.
Except for their dad.
I was like, he's celebrating too. Yeah, you mean, yeah, he couldn't go. He like has this secret.
He ignores the fact that he doesn't address him as not being a veteran.
Yeah, he's not on the hero wall. But the women that are on the hero wall are just married because
they don't
it's
have a hero wall.
Well, their wedding photo is up because that's their duty.
Yeah,
is to be married to a man of stature. So she is going and she hides in her dad's office, kind of checking out the hero wall. She just like notices it. And then Finley's friend, so her brother's friend, Rye Walsh, walks into the room and also is trying to escape. And then he asks why no women are represented. He states women can be heroes too, which also makes Frankie wonder if she could be a hero instead of just marrying one. So ridiculous. I feel like the whole family dynamic is frustrating from the very beginning. Her dad won't put a woman up on the, and maybe it's just in Frankie's mind, it's because no women have ever have been a part of.
Yeah, women are allowed to enlist.
We're not going.
And so, it's a just sign of the times. Like that's kind of the place that women had back then.
And so she has this like, oh, I guess maybe I could be a hero. It definitely ignites some thoughts and feelings in Frankie. So Finley goes off to the Navy. He's serving in Vietnam, and Frankie decides she's going to nursing school. She finishes nursing school while he's out there. They exchange a couple letters, but after finishing nursing school, she finds that the workforce thinks very little of her grades and merits because she's like top of her class.
Yeah,
she
kicked ass in school.
Frankie meets a suicidal veteran patient, and she considers becoming a combat nurse. He like makes a comment about how important the women over there are because
and how they held his hand and did all the things for him.
Yes. So she decides, I'm going to go join the Navy. She calls, and the Navy basically tells her, you need 2 years of hospital experience before we'll ship you out to Vietnam. So then she's like, I need to go there now. Like, my brother's there. I'm going to go, and I'm going to see him. And we're going to be reunited because she misses him. And I'm going to be a nurse out there. I'm just going to help. And my dad will be so proud of me.
Yeah, my whole family. I'll get on the wall of heroes.
I'm going to be on the wall of heroes. When the Navy basically tells her, you need 2 years of experience, she calls the Air Force. They also require 2 years of experience. But then she gets in contact with the Army, and the Army accepts her without any experience. And
come like, on down, girl. We need you.
We'll send you out there, no problem. Come on. She gets super excited to tell her parents. She enlists. She does all the things. She goes back to tell her parents. She's all excited. And Frankie's parents disapprove of her enlistment because she's a woman. That's not her duty. Her duty is to marry a man.
Board their children.
And I think the dad even makes a comment like, we're not Army people either. We're naval people.
Yeah.
And there's a reason why they have a 2-year experience needed to go.
Yeah, it's like a whole blow up. They're yelling at her.
Totally disappointed, upset that she's doing this, and like, take it back. She's like, I can't take it back.
I've already
done
signed up.
it.
Just totally takes the wind out of her sails.
Yes. She's very surprised by it. So then moments later, heartbreak. They get a knock on the door, and there's 2 officers that then deliver news that Finley was killed in action with no body recovered.
His helicopter went down.
Yeah, got shot down.
In enemy territory, so they couldn't recover his remains.
It's already, I mean, even just reading it, I want to cry again.
Yeah.
Despite this, Frankie has to keep her commitment to serve. She can't back out. She's already signed up all the things.
Yeah, she's in it.
They live in Coronado.
Yeah, they live on the island.
On Coronado Island.
Yes. Which, as local SoCal people, we know. Oh, she bougie.
Yes.
They have
got a
new
lot of money. Yeah.
I was like, I don't know if it's new money, old money, but there's money in there.
It's old money.
Is it old
from
money?
the mom.
Yeah, the mom side. The dad has worked up and like...
He's worked for his in-laws.
Yes. And now he's like the guy who owns the business, but he's a hard worker and that got there. But she comes from that old money. They got money. Is basically what we're trying to say.
Yeah, she walks across
to the beach and is watching the ocean, having this moment of, what did I do? But she can't back out now.
Yeah, because now it's a realization. Like, I was going there to, one, be a hero, but also support my brother and to do this together.
Yeah, we weren't going to be alone over there.
Yeah, and now he's gone and I have to go alone. And holy shit, my family doesn't agree. My brother's gone.
I have
now
to go do something
she's having a realization.
My brother, who I look up to and can do anything, just died doing.
Yeah.
What a scary moment. So she gets into the Army, she trains, and afterwards she's flying to Vietnam. She's also, as a woman, has to be dressed up.
Yeah, so
to the
stupid.
9, like in heels on this plane to go to war.
Like pantyhose and a girdle and all the things.
Yes. All these guys are in like their camos and they're like ready to go, comfortable, and she's like,
combat boots.
yes. So she gets there, but as they're pulling in, the plane she's on starts getting under fire, and she spends her first night sick from bad water. Oh yeah, she gets there and they're like,
don't drink the water.
She like takes a drink and they're like, why did you just do that? Don't do that again. That was stupid. And she definitely gets sick. She empties everything.
Dysentery immediately.
At her assigned hospital. So she arrives and she's not at her assigned hospital. They send her away to someone else. She shows up and she is still diarrhea-ing.
She's late because she was diarrhea.
Yes. She tries to like have a little coffee and bread and immediately it just goes through her. So she's like 3 minutes late. She's shown basic duties and her small hut, which they refer to as a hooch,
Yes.
What did you picture when you heard the word hooch?
I thought of liquor, first of all.
Oh, yeah,
I
that's
did
true,
too.
yes.
But hooch, I imagined a barrack, but teepee style.
Yes.
Yeah.
Almost like a yurt.
With like
I
palm
imagined
fronds.
a yurt.
Like a tiny yurt.
I imagined a yurt, but I do think it's just like fabric draped because I ended up looking it up. But I imagined a yurt, and then I saw this picture and I was like, oh, maybe that's what it is.
But it's fabric draped in these pictures.
That's what I mean. Like, there's no real walls, I don't think.
I think I pictured like palm frond ceiling, you know?
Well, I mean, the military made them, so I think they're just like military tarps.
Okay, yeah.
Because like it's mud floors.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, there's no escaping the dirt and any of that.
So it's a tent.
It's basically
She's
a
camping.
a nicer tent.
in Vietnam.
She's got a little cot that she can
structured tent.
lay on. Yeah. She like immediately starts questioning her decision. Like, what did I get myself into? Veteran nurses Ethel and Barb they're like her bunkmates, if you will, in the hooch, and they befriend Frankie. They start showing her around the base. Her first night in Vietnam as a nurse being thrown into a situation, they call them mass cals. It's a mass casualty, and she is just thrown into this shit show of a moment where all these people are dying around her, and they start sorting people. Like, these people, there's no way we're gonna be able to save them. Just put them in this pile over here, like in this area over
I
here.
forget what it's called. But
Because they call it something to make it so it's not so obvious, like that this is a hopeless case. Go
Yeah.
put them with the hopelessness.
But
ones.
she's basically triaging people. Like, she gets sent because she can't do any of the nursing. She's too like
New,
shell-shocked
fresh.
and new. So she's sent to triage them.
Yeah,
And
and some of them she's just sit with them and be with them because that's all we can do is make sure they're not alone when they die. They go to this officers club and she meets Jamie Callahan. There's like a rocket attack that's happening while they're at the O Club, and Jamie, he was a surgeon, is flirting with her and offers her whiskey afterward, but he kind of like holds her through the moment and he's like, it's okay, we're right here. It's all right. Just breathe through it. It's happening.
Going away.
It's gonna pass. And it does. But freaking rockets are blowing up around them. It's wild. She does drink some whiskey to enjoy this night of
calm her
crazy.
damn nerves.
Yes. So the next day she wakes up hungover, and Frankie, again, she's arriving late for her first shift at this place and is thrown into a flood of wounded soldiers. She witnesses her first combat death and learns about Ethel's own losses. That night she encourages Jamie, grieving over a friend he couldn't save. So it was just a kid who, because they're all kids coming in here, they're all like in their
18.
early to 20 maybe.
The
And-
surgeons are slightly older. They're like mid to late
but
20s.
the soldiers that are coming in that are injured and
Oh
dying,
no, they're
all
children, or like barely adults.
Yes, yes. Jamie is kind of upset because one of the kids that came in, he lost, and he was from his hometown. Frankie just offers some nice words, basically saying like, the fact that you were there trying to help is going to mean something to that family because it would have meant something to me when I lost my brother. And it's basically something that encourages Jamie to like, just, okay, I'm good now. Thank you. Let's move on. I feel like throughout the book, you get these little hints of just this one little sentence that helped me. Now I'm good. Let's move on. Right?
Yes,
The whole time.
she's the one giving those one little
Yes.
sentences, or the hand holding, or
Yes,
she's
yeah.
the compassionate person throughout all of it.
For sure. So she gets assigned to the neuro ward because she's, like Rock said, she's new and fresh faced. And because she didn't do a great job during the mass cal, they're like, we don't want you to mess anything up. So we're going to put you on neuro because there's not a whole lot you could do to all these brain injured people. And it's the night shift. So you're not going to see a lot of action. And Frankie treats brain dead patients and gains skill in a calmer setting where she can kind of learn the ins and outs. On a med cap trip to a village. So they take these things, what do they call it? Not a 2-ton. It's a deuce. They get on a deuce.
It's a helicopter.
So they get on this deuce and they take it down to the village. They just do medical help for the villagers. And she helps amputate a little girl's gangrenous hand, sharing a medallion with the girl's brother in thanks. They don't speak English. They just run and he's like, come follow me. She follows the kid to find this girl who clearly has an issue. She has to
Runs and
hold the
grab
little...
Jamie,
Yeah.
and she's like, this girl needs help.
She has to hold down this little girl while he's like sawing off her arm, but it makes it so she can live.
She lost her hand, but she didn't lose her life.
Right.
Jump in to the other part of part 1, chapters 8 through 14. And there's a farewell party. People are always coming and going. Like, they're rotating out either of that base in Vietnam, or they're 4 years or 2 years there is up, and now their deployment, they're going home. So at a farewell party, Jamie persuades Frankie to transfer to the OR. And he's like, you're doing so great. You've learned, you're calm. I think you're ready to come into the OR now. You're very skilled. So after her first exhausting day in surgery, she learns from Ethel and Bob that Jamie is married. And he admits it, but asks her to remain friends. She's hard because they've been flirty with each other. She's like, I think I'm starting to really like Jamie. She's like, I'm sorry, what, you're married?
Yeah.
The whole fucking story, Frankie. I'm so sorry.
I know.
Right? And Ethel and Barb do warn her a few times, like, the men over here aren't always what they seem. Just be prepared.
Yeah.
Yes, they're here living their life in Nam. They're not, like, all of their civilian lives, they didn't bring those here. So during monsoon season, Jamie has Frankie close surgical incisions during a staffing strain. And he's like, you've got this. You've watched me do it. I know you can do this. I have to go save this other life.
Like, there's too much shit happening right now.
Yes.
I need you to step up and act like a surgeon.
Yeah.
And she fucking does it.
Yeah, she does.
So she continues medcap work, comforting an orphaned, malnourished girl and ensuring she receives medication. She like spends the time to talk to the grandma that's with the little girl and like showing her pictures. Like, you got to give this when like her fever, like she's doing hand gestures and really trying to get to the point of what they need to do to keep this little girl alive. During this trip, a little boy also thanks her by giving her a stone. Frankie's letters from home reveal her mother's disarray over anti-war protests. Her mom is sending her letters and they're just like, oh, the Betsy's down the road are doing great. And there was some heathens out in front of the grocery store again protesting. And why can't people just get their stuff together?
These hippies are really becoming more violent. Aren't they supposed to be wanting world peace?
You could 1000% get the we're so much more elevated in class.
Like these
when
things
her mom
don't-
speaks.
Yeah.
Well, like it's almost like this doesn't happen by us. This is like across the bridge San Diego problem.
This is not
an
the
island
Isle
problem.
of Coronado.
Ethel now has to go home. Her duties are done. So at Ethel's going away party, some helicopter pilots come and they're like, we're going to the river. So they load up and they drive over to a river and they have this like boat parked on the river. And so Frankie water skis and then dances with
they
Jamie.
have fun.
Yeah, they're having a good time in the midst of all of the craziness.
While there's still like bombs going off around them and like sounds of war all around them.
They're not at the front line at this hospital. They're a little bit removed, but still it's happening around them.
Yeah. They can hear it. It's not rain sounds at night. They just
exactly.
hear it all
It's
throughout.
white noise.
Yes, exactly.
So while she's dancing with Jamie at the river, he professes his love and invites her to Hawaii, and she declines. Soon after, Jamie is badly injured because he's going on his like rehabilitation. He gets to pick somewhere to go afterwards to decompress. He picks Hawaii. They all pick Hawaii.
They call it's their like R&R, like their break time.
So she declines. So soon after, Jamie is badly injured in a helicopter crash. Very adamant this whole book, or the whole beginning of this book, about I will not be the other woman. If you are married,
be faithful to your spouse.
yes, I'm not going to encroach on this.
She's not even like, if you want to be with me, get a divorce. It's like, you're with a wife. Like, you're married and you're committed.
And this is not a thing. Like, we are just in a difficult situation.
And we're friends.
And we're comforting each other because it's tough here and we need a friend.
But again, she leaves it at a friend.
Yeah.
She's not like, come over here and lay in my cot and then you can remember your wife when you go to your hooch.
And he even tells her before he goes to Hawaii to see his wife, like, I love you. And she doesn't respond because she's like, I don't want to go down that road. You are going to go see your wife right now.
But it breaks her heart because she's like, I do love you, but you're
I'm not
married.
Gonna tell you that.
Yeah.
I'm not going to open that door.
He gets hurt in a helicopter crash. Frankie has to help treat him at the neuro center. He's gravely wounded and he's getting prepared for transfer. Frankie slips the Vietnamese boy's stone into his duffel bag and writes her last name on it, McGrath. As the helicopter is lifting off,
And like, stay strong or something like that.
yeah, she writes him a note on one side and her last name on the back. And she doesn't know if he's ever going to open his eyes and be alert again. So she's like, if he wakes up, I want him to know that I saw him off.
Yeah.
Yes.
We don't know.
He's
but
mangled.
She's seen him flatline, basically, in the helicopter.
Yes. So as it lifts off, she sees the medical team stop prepping him for CPR. Like, she hears the alarms going off on his equipment as he's getting lifted up and them shouting and getting ready. So she's like, he fucking died.
Well, she says,
She's, like, yelling,
she's
"He has a
screaming, like,
strong heart.
yeah, like,
Keep
don't
going."
stop the freaking compressions. Like, keep going. Like, don't stop.
So she assumes he dies. And she's exchanging letters with Ethel about Jamie while Barb prepares to go home from her tour. Frankie is transferred then to the 71st Evacuation Hospital, which is right near the Cambodian border.
Like frontline.
Yes. Harsh conditions, mortar attacks, making survival uncertain. Barb is like, I'm staying with you. And she requests to transfer to go with her.
She asks, like, when do we leave? And she's like, you're not being called. I am. She's like, I'm not letting you go. She's
like,
a package deal.
Yeah.
We're a team now.
She's like, you thought you were going to go have all the fun without me in the 71st?
Yeah.
She's like, and if they're going to transfer, all I have to do is ask. They're going to send me in. Don't worry. worry. We'll go together.
Yes.
Yeah.
What a good friend, but also how freaking terrifying.
Yeah.
I
And
mean,
they
it
know
comes
that
with
it's
being
not-
young and
Dumb.
or unencumbered by life and other things.
Yeah, right.
That is true.
Yeah, because they definitely know they're in a not a cush hospital, but cushier than the others.
I mean,
right?
they
like
get
it's
they have
slower.
they can fly off and go to the river and not get shot down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Frankie adapts to the relentless pace of the 71st and writes her mom about the war atrocities. She and Barb attend a pilot Coyote's party in Saigon. Coyote is one of the pilots that flew them on the helicopter to the river.
He's a little hillbilly.
Yeah.
He's southern toothless.
I don't know if he's toothless, but he's
Make
southern.
a comment about how his teeth are.
Not the best.
He's a hillbilly. All right.
Coyote has a thing for Frankie.
Yeah.
And so they walk, he's
A
like,
lot of people have a thing for Frankie. She's clearly a hottie.
yes, but Coyote is very brazen and he like walks in and he's like, oh, you're going to meet my commanding officer. And he's like,
But I'm
sergeant
gonna
or
marry
whatever.
you, girl. You're
Yeah.
gonna love me by the end of this.
And she was
Confident. I'll
he's
give him
like,
that.
Sergeant, this is my girlfriend Frankie. And the man turns around and it's fucking Rye. It's Finley's
Best friend.
yes.
Who inspired her to do all this?
and she's
Yes.
like, oh my God, Rye
Is here?
You.
She dances with him. Coyote's fucking pissed. He's in the corner watching her getting sauntered around by his handsome commanding officer. She finds him waiting for her on the hotel roof and he reveals he's engaged. So at her birthday party days later, she rejects Coyote's advances. She's like, no, my man, don't call me your girlfriend anymore. We are not together. Cool your jet. So on Christmas Eve, Frankie and Barb handle an unidentified dead soldier. And then they celebrate with Coyote and Rye under a ceasefire. So the next morning, Barb leaves. She's done. So she departs. She ends her deployment. She doesn't say goodbye to Frankie. She just leaves her a note. And that's where we end my
They
chapter.
usually have like these send-off parties, right? Usually say goodbye, but Barb knew, like, I can't say
She
goodbye
did
to
have a
you.
going away party, but it was like the night before. And
Yes.
so when they woke up in the morning, she was already gone. It was like,
And she wasn't going to say goodbye
Yeah.
because and I think in the note it says something like, you know, I can't say goodbye, so
Yeah.
I'll see you later, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
So then we jump into chapters 15 through 21. Barb writes of her struggles at home because they do write back and forth, Frankie and Barb. They are much
And
closer
Ethel.
than Ethel and
they're the three
Frankie.
best friends that anyone could have.
Apparently, best friends in trios are the best.
Yeah, they are.
I would say so.
couldn't agree with you more.
So Barb writes to her of her struggles at home. She's having a hard time just kind of assimilating and getting back into what life is like. You just have these traumatic experiences and then you go back and everybody's just kind of living life. That's a shell shock. So she's telling her about that. And as Frankie's tour is coming to an end,
But Barb is also black during
Yeah.
a time
Oh, yeah.
of civil unrest in the U.S. And her brother is part of the Black Panthers. And so it's not just like I'm a...
What she struggled with even in Vietnam. Like she
Yes.
struggled with being a nurse that was black and trying to help.
Yes,
Yeah.
racist ass soldiers.
as Frankie's tour nears its end, she's getting really close to the end of her time there. This big attack hits near their hospital and starts bringing in just another mass casualty. They have quite a few throughout, but this one's just
One of the worst.
craziest.
Yeah, it's like I think 48 hours they're standing in
In
the
this-
OR.
They even
Hut.
talk about like when Barbin and Frankie first get to the 71st, it's such a huge stark difference from the last one that
Yeah.
it's like Barb sits down, she's like, how are you gonna do this by yourself?
Yeah.
I'm gonna leave. I can't do another tour. I gotta get out of here. How are you gonna make it here by yourself? Because it's so much. It's
Like
just
no
so much
supplies.
death.
They're like re-cleaning supplies to use on a new patient.
And
like
so many people are dying because we just don't have the needs to fix everyone, and we've got.
And you're on the front line, so you're getting way more patients. It's just constant.
Constant. There's like actual bombs going off in the front area, like nearby, closer than ever, right?
Yeah.
Constantly.
Like, I think there was one time when they have, I don't know if it's this one, but they have the mass cash, the electricity goes out. So they're operating on
Generators.
people with
Yeah.
flashlights in their hands and they're
Yep.
working in the dark and they're on their knees trying to help take people on these beds because they can't see. So everybody's low to the ground. There's bombs going off. So everybody hits the floor.
They move
have to
people
be-
under gurneys to save them in case bombs drop.
Yes. And
Like
it's
in the old hospital, it was just like, just start the generators, get these lights back on. And here it's like, no, it's too close. We don't want them to see us.
Yes, so we
Keep the
have
lights
to
off.
work
We have to work in the dark.
in the
Yes.
dark so that we are not a target. That's how close she is to the front lines
Yes.
at this hospital. She's been working with this doctor, but then that doctor ends up leaving. They have this new doctor that comes in and he's clearly fresh and clearly new. They're so impacted with people. He's busy. And so she has to step in and actually perform some of his responsibilities because
she basically kicks him out of the OR.
Yeah.
She's like, you can't handle this right now. Go take a break. Get out.
he was also in shock. Like he got there and he's like, holy hell. And she said, we don't have time for you to be in shock. Get the hell out of here.
Because he was
I'll do it.
super fresh new, like how Frankie was when she arrived at the other hospital, and you're being thrown into like, dude, you're in for a rude awakening.
Yes, like this is not just a little bit of a mass casualty. Like we are under fire and we're trying to save lives. Like you need to go get it together.
Yes.
Yeah.
So she steps in and later finds comfort in Rye's presence. She's disheartened by underreported death tolls because she's getting letters from her mom, and the way that everything's being reported is just such a lie.
Yeah, like how
They say no women are there. They say people aren't dying.
he keeps saying we're winning. We're winning this war. It's almost over. And she's like, what are you talking about?
Like there's no way we're winning. We are literally dying in the thousands.
Yes.
Yeah. And the mom's like, oh, we hear it's going really great, so you'll be home soon. The war is almost done.
She decides in that moment that she's going to re-enlist and sign up for another year. And her commanding officer, whoever it is like, dude, you need a break. You're going to...
A little birdie told me you're not taking a break, and now I'm forcing you to.
Yeah, you haven't taken a break this whole time you're here. You're re-enlisting. Before I can even let you do that, you need to go have some R&R.
Well, they were going to let her do that, but somebody intervened.
Yes. And so she ends up going...
You're not allowed to. It's against the Army rules.
You have to have a break in between tours. They send her off to Hawaii to recuperate. So in Kauai, which is where she goes for her R&R, Frankie reunites with Rye. She's laying on the beach. She's trying to relax. He just kind of walks up and blocks the sun like the guy on White Chicks.
That's what I thought of when I was reading this part. Like, hey there, white chocolate. And it's just a shadow over her.
And I envision her going, where's the sun? Rye kind of intervenes on her little trip
and tells her, I'm the little birdie.
Yeah, that got you some time, and tells her that he called off his engagement.
Well, he actually says, I'm not engaged.
Oh, yes. Because she says, aren't you engaged?
He just says, I'm not engaged.
Yeah, she asks him, aren't you engaged? And he's like, no, I'm not engaged.
No, I'm not engaged.
Minor detail.
And the way it plays out, you're like, something's fishy here. At least for me.
I never thought that.
Fishy.
I just went, cool, he's not engaged. Hell yeah.
I was like, oh my God, she's finding her love.
Yes,
really? No,
that's
the way
how I
he
thought of
worded
it.
I was like, something's not right. Because she was like, I don't want to intrude. Like, you're a committed person. I don't want to be the other woman. I don't want to ruin an engagement. And he was like, I'm not engaged. And it's like, okay, great. And let's move forward with this relationship.
So she finds out he's not engaged, and she's like, hell yeah, we're going to spend the next 6 days together in Hawaii. She calls Barb back at home to tell her, can you tell me a little bit about sex? Because I've never had sex before.
She collects calls him from like a
and I need to know phone. Because this is going to happen. Yeah. Like, I know it's going to happen. And Barb's like, just use a condom. Yeah. And so they end up spending a good romantic 6 days together. She loses her virginity to him on the beach.
Mm-hmm.
And
on the beach, which I don't know how I feel about.
I don't know either. I thought about all the sands, all the grain.
Sex is already a little uncomfortable,
and then you got
doing it on the sand
gritted in your ass. Oh.
I think even Barb says, like, don't expect the first time to feel great, but just enjoy it.
Yeah, just keep going.
Yeah,
it'll get better.
Let him lead. Let him lead. Do all the things. Put it in your mouth, girl.
I promise you, he'll know what he's doing. Yeah.
When they're sitting there and they're talking, and she tells him that she extended her tours, and he was pissed. He's like, wait, no, you're not. Like, I thought
home.
You were gonna go home after this.
Again, another point where you're kind of like,
wait, why are you going back to there?
Do you love her, or do you want her to leave? Like I thought this was just a week-long thing.
I took it as he wanted, like, he loves her now,
and he wants to care for her,
and he wants to keep her safe.
That's how I took it.
I will say, yes, I agree. But I think in the back of my head, I was like, something's not right. Something's wrong here.
Back at the hospital, she's back in Vietnam. Frankie comforts a dying prisoner of war and civilians injured by the napalm bombs that go
there was
off.
a napalm attack.
Those are crazy.
And the little girl, the little babies with like burning flesh off of them.
There's no way to get it off. Like, it's just burned.
Well, like a mom gets rolled in on a gurney, and she goes to see this mom, and then notices that the mom is clutching to this baby
who is dead.
The mom is dead.
Yes.
But she was clutching onto this baby, and when she goes to look at the baby, she realizes it's still alive. So she just like peels it off of the mom, and this baby has just been mutilated by this napalm bomb, and she is struggling with the image of this and how this is happening.
Do this?
Yes, because
to a mother and a child.
Yes, she knows, like, these are not the people attacking us. These are the villagers that we're going out and helping with medicine, and you just bombed them with this fire gel that's eating their skin.
Yeah,
there's nothing we can do to remove it. There's nothing we can do to fix it.
They can just treat the burns in hopes that they live.
Yeah, even if they wash it off, it's still eating away their skin.
She has a really hard time with that.
Yeah.
She takes the baby away and the baby dies in her arms. And it's just one of the defining moments of her time there that really hits home and she can never erase from her memory. After that happens, she reaches out to Rye via the radio to tell him, like, this is just, I had a really rough day. Then they hang up, they have a little minute.
Because
and then
he's in the middle of it as well, just not in the hospital. Right?
No,
Yeah,
he's in
somewhere else.
helicopters.
He's in the helicopters, yeah.
So they get
He
on
ends
the
up coming
radio
to see her.
Yes, and then he was like, "You sounded so distraught. I showed up for you. I'm here."
I came, which I thought was sweet.
It was
I was
so
thinking
sweet.
this whole thing was like, this is so amazing. Like,
They love each
she's
other.
finding
They're gonna have
her
a love story here.
It was a love
Yes.
story,
Yes.
regardless. But like, and I do think that he loved her.
I
but-
do think he did, yeah. So once they get together, she tells him she loves him. They're at the O Club afterwards because he's like, we need to like let out some steam.
Which
so
I
they're
know
dancing.
it stands for Officer Club, but every time they said O Club, I just thought sex.
Me too. Orgasm club. I was like, oh.
So then it's March 14th, 1969. Frankie leaves.
I just hold on before you go into that. She says she loves him,
And he doesn't say it
does
back.
not say it back.
Yeah.
he says some
He says,
other shit like,
I'm afraid I'll love you till I die.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. That's exactly what he says.
What's that mean?
Yeah.
and she's like, oh, you just love me so much.
Well, no, she does think in that moment,
I don't
what
think
does
she
that
thinks
mean
it weird.
exactly?
She thinks it's morbid. Like, do you
Oh,
think you're
yeah.
gonna die? Right?
Yeah.
Like, don't say that. We don't talk about death. You're staying for 27 more days. You'll be back to me.
It's March 14th. It's finally her, what do they call that day when they leave? I forget. For her to go home. And Frankie leaves Vietnam and Rye there, expecting to reunite in 27 days because his tour is supposed to end in a month. She's back in California and she faces hostility from anti-war
Which
protesters.
is crazy. It's wild.
They like are spitting on
'Cause
her.
she
They're
comes off the
calling her
plane
baby killer.
in her white nurse's garb
Yep.
that she only wore to fly out there and to
Yes.
fly home.
Yeah.
And she's getting spit on. Oh, what a welcome home.
Right.
All right. He's expecting like, yeah, our soldiers here.
Yeah, we're so happy
Yeah.
you've done, like, you've saved
Thank you
our
for
sons.
your service. Yes. And that's not it.
Not. It's the opposite.
And then
It's-
she gets home and her parents are just completely unemotional and lackluster in her return.
Like, oh.
Hey, why didn't you call to tell us you were coming home? And she's like, I thought you would just be happy to know
Yeah.
that I got here. And they just no welcome
we have
whatsoever.
parties to go to. Like,
Yeah.
why are you here interrupting us?
Yeah. So they're super surprised by her coming home. So then Frankie struggles with
Why
nightmares.
didn't you give us a heads up? She's like, you've known my time. Like my day
Been
to come
telling
back was
you.
this day. I just didn't call and give you a heads up.
Yeah.
There's no phones in Nam, Mom.
Because I thought you'd be happy to see me. Like, what do you mean?
Your
You knew
hero
it.
is
Yes.
home.
Yes.
I made it. Your second child.
And also,
Came
here's
back.
my picture. Put it on the wall.
Yes.
And then that's a whole thing.
Frankie is 100% struggling with PTSD.
Mm-hmm.
She can't sleep. She has nightmares. She's feeling alienated because now she's not being welcomed at home. She has nobody to talk to. She has
Mm-hmm.
doesn't have friends. So it's just a struggle when she finally gets home.
She's
Her-
like dropping to the ground and
rolling out of bed, like
Yes.
like hearing the gunshots and everything, and that's the nightmare that's
Everything
waking her
is a
up.
trigger. And her mom's like, you know what? We need to get out of the house. So let's go to the country club and have lunch. She's like, all right, I guess she buys her a dress for her to wear.
Once you
And
get
feels
back
really-
into normal life, you'll feel fine.
Yes.
she feels like really awkward in the dress. Like it's like doesn't feel like her. It's
Yeah,
like
I
a
want
little
my-
girl's
she's-
dress.
I want
like
my
gingham.
Yeah.
Totally changed.
Yes.
She is not the same girl when she's returned.
Yeah.
Which warranted.
Mom hasn't figured that out.
Yes.
No.
She goes to this lunch and she learns her parents lied about her service and told somebody that she was off in Paris.
Learning, going to school, learning about the arts.
And so she's super pissed
like, what are
about
you
it.
talking about?
Why would you lie?
She's like talking to a doctor, and he's like, "How was your time
In
studying
Paris."
abroad?"
Yeah.
She's like, "What?"
I was in Vietnam, and then they was like, "There's no women in Vietnam."
The amount of times people told her that.
I couldn't
Made me
believe
livid every single time I read those words.
Yes. Yes. They
So mad.
they said it so often. She ends up getting into a fight and like screaming and yelling at people about how she was in the war and there are women there and people are dying and it's this whole thing. And her mom is mortified. How could she represent her like that at the country club?
You're acting like an animal.
Yeah. So she's now like waiting for Rye to get home. She's having this tough time. And so she decides that she's going to go see Rye's father.
Counting down the days.
Because she hasn't heard from him and it's been weeks now.
Well, she also talks to Barb, and Barb's like, yeah, it was hard coming back for me too. Rye's going to have the same experience. Maybe we could do something.
Oh, like have a thing for him when he comes
have
home.
a welcome home party so he doesn't feel it as much as we have.
Yes. So she's like, all right, she looks it up. She finds Rye's dad and she goes to see him. And he tells her, like, we're not having a welcome home party. Like, he died. They came and told me that he was killed in action.
There ain't gonna be any welcome home parties, Missy. We're gonna.
I know who you are, is what he tells her.
Yes, and calls her Missy.
Yeah.
Yes. She's devastated and doesn't know what to do about it because now this is the first she's hearing about it and it's just an awful thing for her. So then Frankie.
The love of her life is dead.
Yeah.
The second time she's having love and he's dead.
Well, the second time she's experienced someone telling her that the person she cares about most in the world right now is not even just not here. We don't have any remnants of him for you.
Well, that and she saw Jamie flatline on the helicopter and she loved him.
Right.
So she goes into just mass depression over this grief of over Rye's death. She doesn't reach out to Ethel or Barb. As good friends are, they realize something's up, something's wrong. We haven't heard from her. She's not answering our phone calls. Like, we just need to go see her.
Even her mom's like trying to coach her out of the room and she's like, just leave me alone in here in the dark.
And she's drinking a lot because that was something you did in Nam. And
to cope.
So now she's back
just trying
home.
to get these feelings to get away from her, so she's drowning her sorrows with gin.
Yes.
And sometimes vodka.
Yeah. Ethel and Barb end up visiting her and they're urging her to find purpose again.
Not just
so,
visiting her, they're like, show up in her house. Get up,
they
Missy.
come over and they stay and they literally walk in there like, you got to get out of bed, dude. We got to go do something about
force
this.
her back into life. Take
So-
a shower. Wash your nasty ass hair.
Yeah, because she hasn't
Let's find
showered.
you a nursing job. Like, what is it that you want to do? Let's do it.
Yes.
Find something you love. You haven't lost nursing.
So she applies for a hospital job, but it's given low-level duties. They are like, you're just a war nurse. I don't know what experience you have.
Doctors only do this stuff. You're trying to do doctor things.
Yes.
That's not for you.
Go
You're
change
a
some
nurse.
bedpans for a year.
Yes.
And then we'll talk about
Get us some supplies. They need gauze in the bedroom. Go get some gauze and
She's
put
like,
it in
I've
the
done
rooms.
open heart surgery on my own. Please
I'm
move aside.
Stitching people up. What you're gonna
I
have
know
me do
what I'm doing.
administrative work. But she knows, okay, I gotta prove
I don't
myself.
think she's above it. She's just like, I'm
Experienced.
Like, I have so much experience. You're not
utilize me.
Yes, I am a great asset to you.
Yes. Then she has this
And
realization,
again,
like,
anytime she says, I was a Vietnam nurse, they're like,
There's no
there were
women in
women
Nam.
Yeah, like, what are you talking about?
so she realizes she has to prove herself. So shaken by the news of a nurse's death in Vietnam, it's the first time she's heard of an actual nurse dying over there. She attends a friend's gathering only to find it's a wedding shower. Her love of her life just died.
Well, and this isn't
Or
like
at least-
a friend. This is someone that she
Like a
went to
high
high
school
school with.
friend,
And
yeah.
her mom was like, oh, whatever the girl's name is having a party. Let's go together. It'll be good for you to see your old friends and get back into this old life that you had.
And the friend is very welcoming, like, oh my gosh, I missed you so much. Come, enjoy. And then she walks in, she's like, wait, this is someone else's wedding shower?
Yeah.
I'm mourning the love of my life right now.
Yeah,
Like,
like, I'm never going to have a wedding with Rye.
why am
He's
I
dead.
here? Yes.
She ends up publicly rejecting her parents' lie about her time in Florence. I said Paris, but Italy. They say something about her like, oh, how was your studying abroad? She's like, no, I wasn't there. I was in war. And then has this whole traumatic PTSD episode later on at work because they get this kid, he's got a gunshot victim. She keeps calling for the doctor. He never shows up. So without the authorization, she goes in and
this
just
isn't
does
at
the
the-
work. So she ends up closing the wound or cleaning the wound or whatever she does without authorization.
Feeling proud.
I saved
Nailed
this
it.
boy.
Saved that kid.
Yes, and you're gonna be so proud that you're gonna come over here and be like, "Oh wow,
You
look at
need
this
to
work."
get a raise.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they come over and they're like, "Why would you do this? This is a doctor's responsibility.
You have just opened up to so much liability for this hospital. Like,
You should not have done this." And she's like, "I called, nobody came, so I took care of it."
Yeah.
And they're like, "No," and
I
they end
saved
up
a
firing
life.
her.
That's what I'm supposed to be doing.
yes.
Yeah, and they fire her. After that, she's just so low. So she ends up going home. She's like in her bloody outfit, sitting in the
Home from
backyard.
the war and was like, here, Dad, here's a picture of me me and my girlfriends at war for your hero's wall.
Yes.
And she realizes he never hung it up. She doesn't go on the hero's wall.
Yeah.
She's sitting in the backyard having alcohol and
alcohol
in her bloody nurse's outfit from saving that kid. And her parents come out and they have this huge like blow up. They go at it and she runs into the hero's room and she tears down the wall and she leaves the house. She goes to the VA because she's thinking, okay, I need help. There's something
something's
going
wrong.
on and I need somebody to help me. And she goes in. First, they kind of dismiss her and they tell her that there's no place for her there. And she's like, no, I need help. And they're like,
where's the veteran at? Where is he?
Yes.
This is for vets only.
She's like, I am
There are
a
no
vet.
women in Vietnam. You can't be a vet.
She's like, no, I am a vet. I was there. I need help. And they completely dismiss her.
They like tell her like, okay, you could go. I mean, the doctor's office is down. I don't know what he's going to do for you.
Yes.
But the doctor's down the hall. You can go see him.
And the doctor literally says, there's no women in Vietnam.
Yeah,
I don't
what do you
know
want me to
why
do
are
for
you
you?
here?
He asks her, "Are you menstruating right now?"
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh hell no! You're definitely like maybe that's what's wrong.
Maybe
with
you're
you.
having some PMS.
Maybe you're just PMSing.
Yes.
And your brain is confused.
Then Barb and Ethel bring her to Virginia because she ends up calling and they tell her, you know what, just come here.
She calls them because she's like, I don't know what else to do. I tried to get help. They won't help me.
Doesn't
Yes.
she get? I know she does it later, but I think she gets in 2 car accidents. Right? This is one of them. She gets back in the car and gets into a car accident. She just like crashes
maybe.
into a pole.
Oh, her
and
little
then
beetle?
crashes.
She
and she's
crashes
like, "I'm
into a
out."
light bulb, but she gets out of the car and is like, the fuck, I need to get out of here.
Yes.
And that's when she calls Ethel and Barb.
Yes.
Yes. Instead of going home, she calls them and she's at like
leaves the car
Yes.
just tied up on the pole.
leaves
Like,
the scene of the
hopefully
crime.
my dad will find it and be worried about me. We'll see.
Yes.
So she leaves, but she has her stuff and she ends up not going home. She goes to like a hotel and Barb's like, stay there. We're going to come get you. So they come and they take her back to Virginia to live on Ethel's farm.
They're like, this is the plan. Ethel has this old barn in the back of her property. Me, Barb, and you, Frankie, are going to go fix it up and live in it. And we'll all be there to support each other. And we will help you find a way. You just have to figure out, is this your way?
Yes.
Right? Leave California, come to the boonies with us and live on a
We'll
farm
work
with
to it-
Ethel.
through it together.
And we're going to work through it together.
Because even Ethel at some points, like, I had nightmares too. And she's like, well, you didn't tell me about it.
Yeah.
She's like, well, I had them.
Yeah.
She doesn't, I think for a long time, she doesn't know. She thinks she's alone in all the
Yes.
PTSD that she's experiencing. Even when she lives with her friends, she has no idea that they're all experiencing this. So
And that ends my chumpies.
yeah, so we jump into mine. By late 1971, Frankie is a trauma surgical nurse with Ethel, while Ethel attends vet school because Ethel's always wanted to be a vet, so she's going to school to become one. And Barb protests the war, and Barb is actively in the Vets Against Vietnam
Because at
War.
this point, Barb's brother was killed during a Black Panther protest in California, in like Berkeley area. And so she's like,
She talks about how, like, my brother's making a difference in his own way, even though my mom doesn't love it. I want to make that difference too. And then,
like, they don't know what's really going on over there. Like, you see the news reports.
Yeah.
They don't even think we were there.
So as a vet, we have been forced to not have a voice. Why are we not able to speak up about what's actually going on in Vietnam? We should be the biggest voice, the loudest voice.
Yes.
Frankie and Ethel don't want anything to do with it. They're like, we don't want to talk about it. We just move past it. And Barb is like loud about it. And so she finally convinces Frankie to join her at one of these protests. Vietnam Veterans Against the War, the VVAW. And it's a march in DC where they're facing skepticism about women's service still.
yeah, the vets are like, why are you walking here? This is for veterans.
This is for the men who saw combat, not you.
You didn't
woman.
see no combat in your
There were
dress
no
and
vaginas
heels.
over there. I would have known.
I would have
Smell 'em.
Ew. It was hot there. And a little muggy.
And dusty.
And there was no showers.
I could have
So
definitely smelt a vagina from a mile away. Smells like gunpowder and hoo-ha. Oh, man. Oh,
We
gosh.
need a little levity in this story.
it was a heavy story.
It is. It really is. So during protest, she meets a psychiatrist. She doesn't learn his name, but we find out later that his name is Henry Acevedo. And then I think they even go to lunch and they have like a whole moment, but she never learns his name. And when she's walking out, it's the first time she sees the POW wives. And she buys the bracelet with one of the POW's names. Oh, and actually in this moment, they say, the wives are there trying to sell these these bracelets, and she's like, oh, we just found out that this woman's husband, we think he might be alive. There's some articles about how we lost people, but there's a chance that they're just a POW because we have really no records. We're losing so many people. We're not keeping very good records.
Yeah. And she's like, oh, I want to be a part of this.
Yeah, she's like, I kind of feel this pull to be closer to it. So Frankie attends a Navy Wives luncheon honoring Finley and Rye, where she learns her mother has suffered a stroke. She feels this tie of this is something I want to be a part of when she learns about the POWs. And so she goes to support. She's like kind of donating money. And then she has this conversation with the woman who's kind of bouncing around tables. And she's like, oh my gosh, your mother is amazing. She helps our California chapter raise so much money. She's a wonderful woman about like all her fundraising abilities. She's phenomenal. And I'm so sorry to hear what happened to her. And she's kind of like, what do you mean what happened to her? She's like, with her stroke. I'm so sad to hear that she's had a stroke. I hope she's doing okay. And this is the first that Frankie hears about it.
Because she has had zero contact with her family since they blew up and separated.
Her mom and her have like maybe shared a couple letters, but it's like, we're not talking about it. Because when she left, she like blamed her dad for Finley's death. You sent him to die. There was a lot that was said that was just bad. So they don't really talk about it. And she hasn't talked to her dad. And so she learns from this stranger that her mom had a stroke. So she immediately returns home. She buys a flight over there. She helps care for her mother. When she sees her dad, she kind of tries to reconcile, but it's still a little bit awkward. And he kind of admits that he doesn't really know how to handle the situation, especially with her mom is in a hospital bed, potentially on her deathbed after having this stroke. She can't talk. She's not really awake, but he tells her, I want to take you somewhere. Takes her over to a cottage and he hands her keys to the cottage along with a new car and basically says, I was rebuilding. It's like this little cottage amongst these massive homes. And he's like, or townhomes or something. And he's like, your mom, I was going to tear it down because I'm in real estate. And your mom said that when you return, you were going to need a place of your own that you can escape to. And so this house is yours.
Your mom decorated the inside of it for you. Like, this is your space.
This is your space. And here's your new car.
It's on the beach, but it's like down the street from her parents' home. So she's in walking
beachy
distance.
Vibes. Yes. Yeah. So while supporting her mother's recovery, Frankie volunteers with the American League of Families, which is this POW
organization.
Charity. Yeah. She's writing letters to help raise awareness for POWs. And basically they just like she becomes addicted to writing these letters. She's sending it to everyone she can, bombarding them with letters. She's like the #1 letter writer. She's at a shopping center fundraiser and she reunites with Henry Acevedo, the psychiatrist that she didn't learn the name, but now we know his name. He shows interest in her. And the girl that's like sitting there with the place selling the bracelets, she's like, wow, I wish a man looks at me like that. He just wants to eat you alive. I can tell, right? He's looking at you with all kinds. He's definitely interested. You should go. And she's like, he's old. He's so much older than me. And she's like, so what? Did you see his eyes?
Go get some love, honey.
Yeah, you need it. So she later learns that Ethel has eloped with the man that she was living. So now that they've moved back, she moved back home. Yeah. Barb's out, and now Ethel has eloped with her man and is starting her own little family. In 1972, Frankie continues her activism and nursing. At a 4th of July party, though, she is there. She sees Henry at this thing. They're kind of talking, and fireworks go off, and she like drops down under the table and
covers
her
head. Like she's in full panic back in the war.
And then Henry escorts her home. They begin a casual relationship, both avoiding deeper commitments due to past losses. So Henry has been married before and he doesn't have any kids, but he has a nephew. So they both definitely have traumatic past, but they kind of find each other. And he works as a therapist helping a lot of vets. And so he kind of has this way of working with her that does help a little bit, but she doesn't feel the same kind of love. Like Rye was her one and only, her true love. And
I don't know, she felt that way about Jamie too.
Yeah, but I don't think they ever had a chance to
But she never
explore it.
allowed herself to explore it.
Right.
Yeah, and she never felt this love for Henry. Like, no matter how much time they spent together.
It was never like
it was never the same.
Maybe I can fake it until I make it, but
it was never the same.
I'm never going to find someone like I loved Rye. A month later, Henry joins her at a veterans march during the Republican National Convention. The walk that Barb invites her to, and like all these veterans come and they just walk in silence. And he even tells her, like, I drove you all the way here, but this is your walk. I'm not a vet, so this is you. And Barb's like,
he's like, find me later.
Yeah. And Barb's like, he's a real one. Like, he drove you across the country to, like, is staying intent with you to walk for something he believes is your fight to fight, but he's standing beside you. Like, get it together, girl. This guy's a keeper.
Yeah.
Frankie discovers that she's pregnant and she's unsure about becoming a mother. She doesn't know if she's happy about it or not.
Because she doesn't really love Henry. And so now she's like, I'm going to have to start this life with him. And I don't know how I even feel about him.
Yeah. Like, I care for him and I can foresee see maybe having a future, but it's not this.
Like her rationality now is like, he would be a good dad. I can do
He
this
cares
for
about
him
me so much.
But this is not Rye. This is not the life I thought I would have.
Yeah. I was supposed to be having these moments with Rye when he came back. So she goes home. She tells Henry. He's super happy and he proposes. They like immediately go to her parents' house. He asks
her dad
Yeah.
for her hand.
Yes.
This
And
part
he's like,
pissed
yes.
me off so much.
Oh, with the mom being excited about it?
No, the dad's reaction. Well, the dad tells her something along the lines of, "You finally
Found your purpose.
Yeah, you're finally doing what you were always meant to be, a wife and a mother. Finally, you got your shit together.
Hero wall.
Yeah,
doing what women were meant to do in this family.
Motherfucker, I thought we got through this when the wife almost died.
Yeah, right. Frankie and Henry prepare for their baby, and they decide to have like this small wedding in the backyard of her parents' house, and they're kind of planning it and sharing regular dinners with her parents. Things seem to be good. She's kind of come to acceptance with this life, and like, okay, I do love Henry, and I love this baby more than I've ever loved anything. So I'm gonna make all my decisions for the best decisions for my baby rather than just me. And so yeah, I can live a loving life with Henry. Henry and her father get along despite differing political views. When Henry asks why Frankie's photo is not on the hero's wall, her father insists she is finally living the life she was meant to, wife and mother. And then suddenly news breaks that the war has ended as Nixon signs a peace agreement. Plans begin to return of American POWs. Frankie follows the news. Rye's name is announced. But what Rye comes home to is people celebrating. The war's ended. There's this whole big hurrah around it. And Frankie came with people spitting and calling her baby killer, right? There's two very different POVs for coming home. And what was it like to have this roller coaster of emotions? Was it something that everyone felt? Because I feel like Frankie's parents, potentially, they just stayed away from the negativity part. They're like, we're just going to ignore it.
Yeah, we have the money and the means to stay away from that.
Yeah, and we don't have to be affected and look at it. And then, okay, sure, we can just celebrate that the war is over now. Yay, thank you, woohoo. Right? But like in the news, she's hearing these POWs' names being listed. So she heard his name listed on the list.
Coming
she
home,
runs away. She like hides in the bath. Like, I just need to take a bath. I'm fine. Because her husband, her future
on the
husband
news.
is like,
and then decides to go to the coming home
she calls Ethel
airport
and she's
area.
like,
I need to go there.
I need to be there.
Yeah.
And so she shows up.
But they tell her, like, you should tell Henry.
And she's like,
don't
I don't
keep
want
this
to.
a secret.
She's like, could you imagine me telling him the love of my life that he knows about that I thought was dead is actually still alive? It'll tear him apart.
While I'm pregnant with his child?
Yeah, and I have to stay with him. I'm pregnant with his child.
And we're engaged.
Yes. I just want to go and see his face and see the reaction and do the things. So they go to see Rye come home. At the San Diego airport, they witness the soldier's arrival. Frankie spots Rye. He's coming off the plane. And as he's coming down, he like turns his back to her and she's screaming his name like, Rye, I'm here, I'm here. And he runs to a woman and a child. And she realized that he's not engaged. He's married and has a child with this woman.
He didn't lie. He wasn't engaged, but he was married. Married with a child.
Oh my goodness.
What a gut punch.
Seriously. Ethel and Barb take Frankie home. Though shaken, she chooses, do you know what? I'm gonna proceed with the wedding. I don't have to tell Henry. None of this has to be a thing. Let's just keep it between us. And I'm choosing Henry today. She learns from a newspaper that Rye married before Vietnam. Realizing he lied, she still loves him. And so Ethel and Barb are like, all right, well then this is your bachelorette party. Let's go in the backyard and dance our lives away. So they're out there dancing, and all of a sudden she like puts her hands in her underwear and lifts it up to blood, and she's having a miscarriage. Boy, did I have to pull over in the side of the road and sob for a long time. She suffered a miscarriage. She thought it was going to be a baby girl, but she finds out that it was a baby boy that she lost. She knew that if it was going to be a baby boy, it was going to be named Finley after her brother. So it's baby boy Finley. Frankie tries to talk to her mother about Rye, but her mother's advice to her is to move on, and then revealing that she had pregnancy loss before marriage. And then she suggests Valium to cope. She's like, these are mommy's little helpers.
Uppers and
these ones
downers.
will help you sleep. So you need a little pick me up, you take this one. And if you need to sleep, you take this one. And it'll help you get through all the things. I mean, this was the time, right? There's even songs about it, I think. But later, Frankie tells Henry that Rye is alive, but she cannot marry him. And though she withholds the truth about Rye's deceit, she just basically breaks off the wedding.
Like, this miscarriage was a sign I'm not supposed to be with you, and we need to go our separate ways.
And Henry's like genuinely heartbroken heartbroken because he really did love her.
Yeah.
Yes.
He even tells her, for someone who just found out that the love of your life is alive, you have the saddest eyes I've ever seen.
She has seen nothing but loss. Then we jump into the last set of chapters, part 2, chapters 30 to 35. Frankie withdraws, taking her mother's Valium, and works extra shifts to forget Rye. Nightmares and daytime combat visions return, and she gains her own prescription and becomes dependent. And she comes
And
to work.
doctors wrote those prescriptions like it was nothing. Like,
No.
yeah, you need mommy's little helpers? Sure.
So she thinks she's going to be home. She takes her meds, and then they call her into work. So she shows up to work impaired, and she has to get kicked out of the OR. The doctor that's in there is like, "What's wrong with
She's
you,
like
McGrath?
slurring her words.
Get out of my OR." Kicks her out while she's at home, like she's on a little mini suspension.
The doctor or whoever it is that oversees her tells her, like, I've lost a child. I know what you're going through. You need to take some time
Like
to
she
yourself.
gives her some grace.
Like, I know you're a kick-ass nurse, but I can't have you in my OR right now.
So she's at the beach and she spots Rye with his family at the beach. And then she gets in her car and follows them to their home. And then she drives
Like, for sure, Rye was gonna like see her and make eye contact with her at the beach.
Yes.
And then when she was like, I'm just gonna leave, like he would stop her or something.
nothing. She's parked outside. As he's offloading stuff, she can see like, oh, he's limping. He's hurt. He like goes to the front door and then like he forgot something, turns around.
And the wife almost like, because she doesn't understand, she's almost
Like, get your shit
demanding,
together.
Like, come on, why are you so slow? Let's go.
Pick
move
up the
it."
bag, sir.
Yes.
And take care of me and your child.
Yes.
As she's driving past the house, because she's like, oh, they're going inside now. She goes to leave. He turns around because he forgot something, and they make eye contact. She's like, fuck, he saw me.
She's like, skirt, skirt.
Then she misses the shift. She's suspended again. Days later, Rye comes to explain that he wanted a divorce when he reached Vietnam, and Frankie is angry because he's at her door.
He got her pregnant before they were married, so they got married real quick. But it was like, I never really loved her. I just got married because I had to.
That's
because
what
she
you
was
do.
pregnant.
Yeah.
She's like, I get that. Been there.
Yeah.
I almost did the same thing.
Yeah.
She lets him kiss her. So Frankie and Rye begin an affair while he starts his divorce proceedings.
Yeah, he's like, I'm getting divorced. I've already gotten a lawyer. Like, we are not together anymore. Don't worry, Frankie Bear.
She feels guilty but stays with him. And at Barb's wedding, Ethel tells her she will find someone better. She's
Because no
lying
one-
to her
yeah.
friends. She
No
has
one
not
knows that
told
she's with
them.
Rye.
Yes, it's his dirty little secret. Frankie tries to end the affair, but then he drops to one knee and proposes to her.
Proposes
Like,
to
I
her.
promise you, I'm almost done.
This divorce
Marry
is
me.
finalizing. Let's make it public that we're together.
And she accepts, and she's like, finally, I'm getting the love of my life.
The life I always wanted.
She's thinking, like, I'm going to be such a great stepmom to your daughter. Like, let's figure out custody agreements. Like, would you move in
She
here?
was in
Our
deep.
life together is beautiful and
Yes.
bliss.
She convinces her boss to lift her suspension, lying about her substance use and PTSD. So back at work, she's feeling better until she learns that Rye's wife had just given birth to a second child.
She like walks into the hospital room. They're like, "Oh, this woman she just gave birth."
So-and-so
whatever."
Walsh.
Yes, and she's like, "Walsh." She like sees the last name. She walks in, and there's Rye with
His
newborn
new
baby. He
child.
just has a newborn. Oh my!
And
sweet
she
Jesus.
is absolutely devastated.
even.
And she drinks so hard. And then on the bridge, and she almost hits this
She's
cyclist.
drunk. She's drugged up.
She almost hits this cyclist, but then almost throws herself off of the bridge in her car.
She was
And
intending to kill herself.
She feels like
This is it. I have no
don't wanna
need to
kill
be
this
here anymore.
Cyclist,
But I'll kill
I
myself.
Don't mind flying off
Like,
this
I'm
bridge right
finally
now.
done.
Yeah, this
Same
is it.
thing.
I can't do it anymore.
She fucks herself up.
Yeah.
So she wakes up in the hospital.
This is the olden days. They didn't have any seat belts.
No, she could have.
Just like the little clip around your waist.
Yeah,
There's
waist
no
belt.
airbags and.
She learns the cyclist survived. Like, that's her panic when she wakes up. Like, shit, I'm alive.
Did I kill the guy?
someone?
Yeah.
She faces DUI charges. Her father takes her home. He like shows up in the hospital like, what the fuck are we gonna do with you, Frankie?
Yeah.
And because he's like well known in the community, he just basically reduces all of her charges.
Oh, yeah,
and
he
she
buys
gets
it.
off
And
pretty
She
easy.
tells him like, I didn't want to kill myself. That's not what my plan was. I was just
Oh, that
impaired and
Yeah.
potentially killing a cyclist. I was just
She's-
trying to protect him.
Lying.
Yeah.
So when she admits she's struggled since Nam and needs help attempting to join a veteran support group. So she sees like, okay, the veteran support group for PTSD meets at this time at this place. She shows up to the group.
Like, I'm going to go back to the VA and I'm going to get the help that I need because clearly I need it.
But she doesn't go to the front desk. She shows up to the group. She sits down in this circle of all men and they're like, sweetie, you're in the wrong room. There's other other places. Like,
The
this
coffee
is the
that
VA.
you need to make for us is around the corner.
Yeah, like, this is for men veterans. And she's like, I'm a veteran. And they're like, there's no women in Nam.
The second time she's turned away from the VA.
And they're like, oh, we saw combat. These are for people who saw combat.
Like, your little nursing is cute, but that's not what this
That's
is.
so sweet of you. But no, you can't come in here.
Livid. So then she's like, okay, I'm going to go visit the man that I almost mowed down with my car. And she shows up at his house, and he basically just chastises her. Like, what the fuck are you doing here? Why would you come? Like, what were you doing that drunk and inebriated on the road? What's wrong with you?
I think she says, like, I just wanted to say I'm sorry.
Yeah, and he's like, oh, well, too fucking bad.
All right,
He's
well,
like,
thanks.
I have a family that you almost destroyed. Do you even know what you would have done? And she's like, actually, yes, because my brother died. Like, yeah, I do know how it would have felt for your family to get the call, and I'm so sorry.
So she goes back to her parents' home. She takes Valium and hallucinates Finley. And she walks to the beach, and she's hearing Finley calling her. And so she takes a surfboard.
Come into the water.
Yeah,
let's
like
go surf.
let's go surf just like we used to. And she's like, I'm coming, Finley. And so she gets onto the surfboard, and she's like, I'm just so tired. I'm gonna lay here. So she lays
almost
there.
drowns.
Yes, and falls asleep on this surfboard. But she's rescued.
Because she's super drugged up.
Yes, and her dad finds her, and he rescues her and takes her to a psychiatric facility, which is owned and operated by Henry. This is one of his projects that he got her dad to help fund, was creating this facility. She's locked up in there for 36 hours. She's on a psych hold. So Frankie wakes up in the rehabilitation center that Henry runs, experiencing Valium withdrawals, and Henry diagnoses her with PTSD. So helping her understand her shame stems partly from others minimizing women's services. She begins individual and group therapy, journaling her memories. Barb visits her, and Frankie confesses her affair with Rye. And Barb reveals she also suffers nightmares, surprising Frankie.
Yeah, what? Barb, why didn't you say that?
In the very beginning.
Yeah.
We all knew this was a problem. So in 1974, this is several years later, Frankie's recovery is steady. She accepts Rye never loved her and has addressed her substance misuse. She lost her nursing license, and Henry says, yes,
You'll
lost
be able to test and regain it eventually.
Yes, just give it some time. You have to show that you're in a good place, and you can go get it back. I know you can.
Also, Henry is engaged to be married to someone else and starting a new family with someone else.
Yeah, he's living his own life. But she's like, you know what?
So he's not doing this because, like, I love you still and I want you back. He's like, no, I found my happiness.
But I also care for you as a person.
And I want you to find your happiness.
Yeah.
Yes. So that winter, she's discharged. And by the summer of the following year, she tells her parents, I need to get out of California. I need to find a place that is me, for me. I need to find my place. So she sells her cottage, and she just starts driving north with Barb. And she's like, I'll feel it when I drive to the place that is meant to be my home. And as they're driving through Montana, there's this like little plot of land that says it's
like a little farmhouse.
It's a massive plot of land.
It's acres.
In Missoula, Montana. And she's like, she gets out of the car and stands in the field, and she was like, this is it!
Because
They've stopped many times.
They drive by, it's got like a for sale sign, right?
Yeah.
And so she's like, oh, let's take a look. And when she sees it, she says something to Barb, and Barb's like, oh, you've already made up your mind.
You've already decided.
You've
Because
decided.
She talks about like going through Northern California and Oregon and Washington. And she's like, no, I haven't felt it yet. But as soon as she gets out, she's like,
This
is it.
This is my home.
Because she did enjoy riding horses and stuff at Ethel's farm.
And she feels like that's a big part of her recovery too. Like,
Yes. So Frankie buys and renovates a ranch. She earns a degree in psychology and creates a haven for female Vietnam veterans, offering counseling in exchange for work and housing. Very similar to what Ethel and Barb did for her. Like, you can come and live in these cottages on my property, but you're gonna muck out stalls. But you're also gonna get therapy and get the help
We're
that
going to
you
have
need.
these groups because I sat in them.
I see you.
And I
hear
understand
you.
what you're going through.
I know there were women in Vietnam.
Yes. Let's
Yes.
fix it.
Yeah.
They make their own wall of heroes. Like, she took her
Yeah.
dad's idea, and she's like, all of these women who are coming in and getting help and then leaving, you go on the wall of heroes because you suffered and you made it, and you're gonna go live your life.
But also they get to leave a little piece of them. Some of them will
Yes.
paint something.
They
a
all
little-
contribute to the
Yes,
ranch in some way.
Several years later, November in 1982, there's this reunion in DC for the 36th Evacuation Unit staff. That was part of
Her first like station.
Yeah. So for the Vietnam, that's when the memorial was going up for the Vietnam vets.
Yeah, so there's like almost like two separate things. There's this big Vietnam thing, the wall of all the people who died, right? And then also we're going to do this 36th evacuation unit reunion.
Well, they're doing a reunion to coincide with that memorial being established.
Yeah.
So Ethel and Barb attend, but they don't see any other nurses. Frankie goes to the wall. She's like, okay, I'm going to go to the wall. I'm going to find Finley's name on here.
And nobody wanted to go. It was like all this thing
like her parents didn't want to go. Like, we can't, we're old now. We can't travel like that.
And a lot of the vets were feeling like, ugh, I'm upset about this, like too little too late kind of a thing.
Like
and
you told us we weren't valued, and now you want to put up a wall of all of our dead brothers.
Yes.
She's looking at the wall, and then she sees her parents there. Oh, this makes me sad. I'm going to cry now. And then her dad apologizes and was like, you were really a vet. I'm so proud of you.
Yeah.
I'm so sad. And they bring a wreath, and they like sit there and honor Finley. And then she starts looking for Jamie's name. She like turns and sees him there. He's alive. He didn't flatline.
He's a little mangled, but he's there.
He is. They catch up, and it's kind of like, I divorced. He did what she expected Rye to do. And he's like, I've always loved you. When I got home, I
tried to do what was right for a while.
Yeah.
And I couldn't.
But I've left my wife. She's going to be happier now. I'm happy. I've gotten therapy. But they kind of catch up, and then they leave as friends and go and join the other survivors.
Yeah.
And that's the end of the book.
So my first question is, Rox, did you cry?
I didn't cry, but I did have an emotional reaction to her dad finally apologizing and like valuing all of her time. I did get a little like choked up because I was like, wow, that's all she freaking needed all this whole time. Had he just done that the day she came home, this would have been a different story. She would have had support. She would have potentially been able to talk
my
about
parents
it.
Didn't even recognize that I was in Vietnam.
Those were the people that mattered to her the most.
Yeah.
He had the money and the means to get her
the help that she needed,
regardless of the VA discrediting her.
But he wouldn't even do it.
I think the part that I cried the most was when she was having a miscarriage. I literally had to pull over my car. Like, I'm driving to work. I gotta get it together.
I cried multiple times in this book.
I think I was just so mad.
Yes.
All right, well, let's rate this book. So we base all of our book reviews on a 3-shot system. 1 shot is I'm not coming back for more. 2 shots, it's good enough for another, but not worth the hangover. And 3 shots is it got me up. All right, so what do you guys think about this book?
I will say, because we did Nightingale several months ago, I was concerned it was a historical fiction, but I was excited about this book. My dad was in Vietnam. I had interviewed him about it years ago before he passed for like a school project or something. And so I thought like, this is going to be a good book. And I didn't realize how much I liked The Nightingale until after like I sat with it for a while for the women's. I cried multiple times. I think going into this knowing what it was, I could appreciate Kristin Hannah's writing. She paints such vivid, tangible pictures for you. Yeah. I'm giving it a 3. I love this book.
I was prepared this time around for Kristin's writing style and the way that she really takes the time to give you the details about what you're about to experience. And I appreciated it more this time than I did last time. But it was a great story, so I gave it 3 shots. I didn't cry. I'm sorry. I'm a soulless woman, but I can appreciate the emotion that this book evoked for many.
For sure, I think Kristin Hannah has become known to me as someone who's going to make you feel all the feels. Like her books are going to make you have emotional reactions, like sadness, right? Not just happy, because
I think more sadness than happy, mostly.
For sure. I don't think I've ever heard anyone tell me, oh, you have to read this Kristin Hannah book. It's just going to light your soul on fire and make you the happiest little camper. That's not why we're reading Kristin Hannah, and I agree. I definitely was more prepared for it this time. I hated this book. It made me, like I said, I pulled over and sobbed. I think I screamed at my radio because I'll cry talking about it. Like, it was so sad from the beginning to the end, which is why I'm rating it a 3.
I hated this book.
Like,
it is a 3-shot.
I hated every second of it. It was not a book that's going to make you feel good. And I think knowing that makes you go into it differently.
Yeah, you're prepared for it.
Going into The Nightingale, I wasn't prepared for it. And
The Nightingale was not nearly as sad as this one.
No. There was like one part that really tore me up. But the rest of it was like, wow, I was doing research. Like, is this true? Did this really happen?
But I think this one hit a little bit more home because my dad was 18 when he decided to join. Knowing knowing what I know now about mental health, clearly had PTSD.
Yeah.
Unhelped PTSD.
Yeah.
Will I recommend this book? Absolutely, 100% hands down, yes. But I think it still deserves a disclaimer to say, no, that this is not the book that you go
This is
into
gonna
reading.
crush your
like,
soul.
Yes.
But
if
it's
you
really
have
good.
any sort of mental instability about whatever, like, just know that it's not going to help it. It's not going to make you feel good. It's not a feel-good book. It's not what it is. But it is beautiful, and it is a story that is amazingly told, and your heart is broken over and over and over again for Frankie. Even the ending, while it is a happier ending, it's not she's walking into the sunset with the love of her life or anything.
She's like, I'm going back to my ranch because I figured out how to live life again.
I will say I do like that ending though.
All this also happened to her before she turned 30. Like, she was so young.
Yeah.
So, but in the end, she didn't need a man to find herself and find happiness.
Right.
But it took
when she
so
found
long to
herself
need
and
help.
yes, when she found herself and found her purpose, then in walked the man that she could fall in love with.
She had to heal herself before she could actually fall in love.
Absolutely.
And that was the happy ending.
But when
I
they
think
met, she wasn't broken yet.
Yeah. I think that it definitely left you feeling she's found it. She's finally gotten to a point where she's found love, or at least gotten to a place in her life where she's opened back up to it, has someone to potentially pursue it with who would understand her purpose.
But he also had like a child or two children. He needed to be there for them. So it just wasn't plausible for them.
It all happened for a reason, and it all happened the way it was meant to be.
So she could be a support system for other women.
Yes, even though the way it happened was shitty, and there's nothing happy about it.
Before we close, I have some links for veterans. There is a veterans crisis line that you could just dial 988 and press 1. If you want to talk to someone, you can go to veteranscrisisline.net. They have online chats that you can join. There is the VA website. I will say from personal experience with my husband being a part of the VA healthcare system, it is slower. It's slower to get involved, but they do have more programs and things and a lot of community care that they do. So it is worth going into and trying to find help. Unless you need immediate help, then call 988. There is also the Wounded Warrior Project.
Also, I feel like it's important to maybe say this episode is being released right around Veterans Day. And I think this book definitely shined a light on how poorly we have, as America in general, poorly we've recognized our veterans. And so just thank you for your service.
all the men and the women.
Yes.
Especially the women.
That's a wrap on this episode of Literature on the Rocks. We've walked through the heartbreak, courage, and resilience in Kristin Hannah's The Woman, a story that reminds us of the strength it takes to serve, to survive, and to speak the truth when the world doesn't want to hear it. Make sure you're subscribed so you never miss an episode. And don't forget that the book prompts are already posted, waiting for your thoughts and reflections before next week's book club.
Yeah. If this story of bravery, friendship, and sacrifice stayed with you like it did us, rate and review us. It helps other readers discover women who change the world one page at a time.
And like the women in Kristin Hannah's story, we believe every voice deserves to be heard and every story shared. So keep the conversation going with us. Follow at Lit on the Rocks Pod on Instagram and TikTok, and visit us at literatureontherocks.com.
Until next time, may your battles be few, your friendships be fierce, and your cocktails give you the courage to keep going. Cheers.
Toodaloo.
Bye.